Every once in a while, a movie will come along that just reminds you exactly why you love sci-fi so much in the first place. Well, Project Hail Mary just hit me like a Mack truck headed for another dimension. Let's talk about it. Project Hail Mary is the latest movie starring Ryan Gosling, and it's about science teacher Ryland Grace as he wakes up on a spaceship light years from home with no recollection at all of who he is. He soon realizes he's on a mission to save our planet's sun from mysteriously dying out, and an unexpected friendship means he might not have to do it alone. So I'm just gonna be honest, it's pretty easy to get me on board with a crowd-pleasing science fiction adventure movie right from the jump, but when you tell me that I'm getting one with an Avengers-level team assembled, and by that I mean Ryan Gosling starring in it, Lord and Miller directing it, Andy Weir writing it, who gave us The Martian previously, I'm gonna be chomping at the bit to get my hands on this thing. And even though I haven't read the original book that this project is based off of, which may or may not have been on my reading list for years now at this point, I knew we were in good hands here just from the collective energy and enthusiasm that everyone was having about this finally being adapted into a feature-length film. And being the little snobby sci-fi purist that I am, I went into this one as completely blind as I possibly could. I didn't read a synopsis, I didn't watch any of the trailers, I didn't know the story at all beforehand, and that ended up being the best possible choice that I could have made for this entire experience. Because Project Hail Mary isn't just a great science fiction movie, it's legitimately a great blockbuster movie in general. It's filled to the brim with laughs, it's got tons of heart, and it's the type of film that you just feel so fulfilled after seeing it if you're able to watch it with just a packed audience. Do yourself a favor right now and get that Friday night 7 p.m. ticket, no matter what it takes, and I guarantee the boys are going to be buzzing. When it comes to the story they decided to go with here, I don't think there's anything too hard to understand regarding the overall bones of this narrative, because it's kind of a story that we've seen done before in the past, right? Some unlikely hero just gets shoved into the spotlight and ends up being the only dude that knows anything about saving the entire planet. But what's cool here is how it's actually structured. It's not 100% linear. There's kind of two stories going on at the same time. One is obviously the mission that he's on and trying to complete it, and the other is all of his discoveries and everything that leads up to him just getting shoved onto this rocket ship. This script just has the secret sauce, man. It's got the secret sauce in regards to creating an effective, crowd-pleasing blockbuster adventure, because it's kind of a cautionary tale and it's kind of an underdog story, and the companion our main character has working alongside him in outer space on this project brings so much heart to the overall experience. You're either going to be laughing, you're going to be getting emotional, or you're just going to be fully locked in from beginning to end. And with all that said, just to get a little nitpicky here, I do think the film is maybe just a touch too long. I feel like when it was wrapping up towards its natural conclusion, it just kept going for some reason. Like I would be like, okay, here's the ending, and then it kept going, and I'd be like, all right, here's the ending, and it would just keep going. But even so, not that much of a knock there, just because everything it gave me was still really enjoyable. When it comes to the performances in this movie, this is the Ryan Gosling show, baby, and that is exactly how it should be, and he really deserves his flowers this time around, because he keeps things so entertaining and funny, and you're invested in this character's journey, despite him pretty much acting alone by himself for a good chunk of this film, when he's up there in the spaceship just trying to figure out what the hell is going on. He's just seriously become an awesome leading man. Like, I remember back in 2011 when Drive came out, obviously that performance was impossible not to take notice of. He was great, but I really thought he was just going to become a skinnier Tom Hardy, mumbling and brooding all over the place. Well, these last few years, he's really impressed me going the exact opposite direction, really embracing the wholesome and self-deprecating side of things, and it's created some great screen presence. And such a massive and tremendous part of this movie centers around his relationship with this mysterious companion that he meets up in outer space, and if you somehow avoided all of the marketing materials, you don't know what this little guy's supposed to look like, or that he was even supposed to have a sidekick in the first place, I'm not going to be the guy that's going to spoil the ins and outs of that for you. Just know that their relationship is such a great symbol of like optimism and meeting people on common ground and just companionship in general, that it's going to be impossible not to tear up just watching how much these two have each other's backs over the course of this story. You know, I can't confirm or deny, but your boy might have been looking for the tissue box once or twice while all this was going on. The last aspect of this movie I want to discuss is just how much this film looks and feels exactly how a blockbuster film should look and feel, and that's obviously in no small part thanks to the duo behind the camera this time around, Lord and Miller. If you don't know who these guys are, they're famous for directing the Lego Movie, the 21 and 22 Jump Street movies. They wrote all of the animated Into the Spider Spider-Verse films, so they're hot right now. You should know who they are. And I just really love that there's such an emphasis on them being film fans first and foremost, just when you see how they handle the VFX in this movie, because apparently there's not a single second of green screen in this thing. There's so much craftsmanship and puppetry around the main character's companion. They're just speaking my language here. What can I say? You know, I was lucky enough to see this in 70mm at the indie theater near my house, and I gotta say that all of the set designs and the crazy space landscapes really shined. And if you're someone like me that really cares about this genre and that kind of stuff is important to you, I think you're gonna be pretty impressed with the level of execution here. Overall, guys, Project Hail Mary does pretty much everything I'm looking for when it comes to being a rousing sci-fi blockbuster adventure that anyone can fall in love with. It has a massive amount of heart, the visuals are nothing short of impressive, and the lead performance from Ryan Gosling has you rooting for him the entire way through. It may feel just a touch long in a couple of areas as the story starts to wrap up, but this is easily the best movie of the year so far, and one that demands to be seen with a fully packed crowd. Project Hail Mary gets a Sully score of 4.5 stars. So that's my review of the latest sci-fi blockbuster. What do you think is the most underrated movie in Ryan Gosling's catalog? I have to go with The Place Beyond the Pines. I absolutely love that one. But let me know in the comments below what you think. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys at the next one.